What I've got here is a settee. If you've got a broken spring in the seat, you'll have a dip like that. So what I'm going to show you today is how to replace one of those broken springs. So the first thing you need to do when you're doing the seat spring is turn the piece of furniture upside down. I'm going to get 2 casters out and then I can undo the bottom. So get your screwdriver under the corner, prise it up, claw hammer, lift. I'm going to do the same again with this one. So what I'm going to do now, the casters are out, I'm going to undo the bottom along these 3 sides so that I can fold it up and look inside. And all I'm using for this, what I call a staple lifter, and you literally get that underneath the staple, and then when the staple's partly out, a pair of pincers, and just pull the staple out. That's the bottom undone down 3 sides. So now, just fold that over, out of the way. That exposes the springs in here. So what we can imagine, this spring is broken here. So I'm going to take this one out and show you how to put another one in. To get these springs out, the easiest method is, I've got a chisel here, which is an upholstery one, but a big screwdriver to do the job, and a hammer. And these springs go into a clip at the end. So the easiest way is get the screwdriver in there, hit it. Now when this spring comes out of this clip, you have to be very careful. The spring's under tension, so what happens is when I undo that, it'll try and pop up. When you're taking that out, be very careful you don't loosen that clip. All I need to do now is the other end, exactly the same process at the other end. You can order these very easily. You can order them online, go up to your local upholsterers. These I actually make myself. I cut them to length, bend the ends, so I'll show you how to do that anyway. The springs come on a big roll like that. So that's the seat spring. This is our potential broken spring. So what I would do with this is I'd put the 2 broken bits together. I'd measure this. So I measure the length of that. So I've got the total length from one end to the other. I cut a piece off. So I've got a piece a bit longer than what I actually need. Then I'm going to put that against my yardstick as well. Mark the length I need onto there. Get the bolt croppers. Open them up. Put the spring in there. So what I need to do now is just going to cut this. And these are like razors. You've got to watch these. They will just slice you open. So what I need to do is put a bend on the end of that, like the old one. That's what shape I want on it. That's what shape I've got on it. So that's the end of the spring there. And I've got this tool. And the end of the spring goes into that hole on this lever. Now if I pull this, and there is the bend that I'm after. Right, so that's my spring made, and it has a curve on it, and you can see the curve there, it's quite distinct. That curve is the top of your sofa or your chair. I'm going to fit it in exactly the reverse order from which it's taken out. Right, so I'm going to put this front one in first. So that one's gone in. Putting the front one in is fairly easy because the spring, there's no tension on it, so the front one's gone in fairly easy. Putting the back one in, it's literally a case of hold the spring, put some tension on it until you line that up with the clip. Now don't take the tension off the spring, otherwise it'll flick out of the clip. Once it's in like that, hammer it, and there it is. Once the spring's in, again, everything's in reverse order. Pull your bottom over. Instead of putting the bottom on and then trying to find the caster holes, I find it a bit easier to get the caster, put it through the hole it was in originally, into the frame, just push it in place, find the hole in the bottom, put the caster through the hole and into the hole in the frame. Because what will happen is if you don't do that, you come to staple the bottom on, then you can't find the holes, they're in the wrong place. Now I'm using a staple gun that works on compressed air here. Any staple gun will do. You know, if you've got your little hand stapler or whatever, just use that. Very last thing to do is these casters, putting them back in. Don't go hitting this. If you hit that there, you're going to break it. At the bottom here, there's a metal socket. So literally now, small hammer. Simple as that. So you've repaired your spring now. Put your seat cushions back on it, make yourself a brew and sit and watch telly.